situate this shit. Are you ready to rock and roll?
I am ready to rock and roll. I'm excited to talk.
Yes. Hi, I'm Kyndal.
I'm Celine.
And this is Not That Serious. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Just for a little background context, and also fitting on the theme of our show here, Celine and I went to middle school together. I met Celine in the 8th grade.
Yup. First day of class when we had PE.
Uh-oh. I don't know the story.
Oh my God. Okay. So I remember it was like it was either like the first day or the first week of class, right? We had PE and like, I don't remember what it was. I think you were wearing a SpongeBob shirt. And that's why I came up and we were playing dodgeball. And I came up to you and I was like, I like your shirt. And you're like, oh my God, thanks. I love SpongeBob. And I was like, I like her. She is nice. But really, SpongeBob, it's the beginning of many friendships.
No, it has to be. And it's been a core value in our friendship ever since. Every time I come across a SpongeBob meme, it's like going straight to Celine. It's not getting across anybody else's phone before it gets to Celine's. I'm sorry.
Fact, because I know that you'll understand the reference, even the most obscure.
The most obscure. I feel like that's how we bonded. So
that's the best one.
That's so funny. I always I never have a. Sometimes it just depends person to person, but I always tend to forget, like, this was the first. I usually just remember the things that bonded us or the things that, like, got, anyway. So that's really interesting that you remember the very first time we spoke.
I usually remember the first time I meet people. I'm really big on first impressions, so I tend to remember it, especially if they're, like, meaningful. And especially if that person's still in my life, so.
Yeah. Celine's been around for a minute. So we're going to talk about things that we wish we told younger us. Things that we could, if younger us was in front of us, what would you say to her? That's the vibe we're on today.
Yeah.
Before we deep dive, because I feel like this episode is going to get a little bit more emotional. I don't want to say serious because this is not that serious.
It's not that serious, but it's
emotional. Just a little emotional. So just be prepared to feel everything. But before we do feel any other emotion, let's feel anger. What pissed you off on the internet this week?
Ooh, what pissed me off on the internet this week? Okay, actually, I know what pissed me off this week on the internet.
Yeah, what's that?
Tory Lane's father. His ugly ass with his beard growing downward. All the hair on his head went to his beard and grew down to hell.
I can't. Rock Nation. You're ruining my brother's reputation.
No, the way.
That is crazy.
The craziest thing I saw was that someone, I think even his father, who also was not in his life up until
that's what I heard too.
A few years ago.
Did not even raise him.
Yeah.
Craziness.
So there's that.
Craziness.
Culture vultures out here, but also that they said that he was a sacrificial lamb to keep the black women of America happy. And I was like, y'all, the reach, you are going to get a herniated disc from reaching so hard.
Celine, my for the audio listeners, my mouth was agape. I had not heard that. What? He was a sacrificial lamb?
That is what one of the rumors are now. Yeah, like his dad trying to justify what is happening. He said, God never misses. Exactly why your son is in jail, sir.
No, deadass. I'm just sitting here and I'm just kind of like, yo, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say about Tory Lanez.
About Tory Lanez, of all people. Literally, what has he done for y'all?
A sacrificial lamb is something crazy. But for Tory Lanez, it's even crazier. Anyway, that man is in jail. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry. Enjoy your prison food, pal. I don't give a fuck. Moving on.
That's pissed me off on the internet.
No, that's so valid because he's crazy.
He's crazy. The whole family. Lock him up.
Oh my God. I usually have a running list. I honestly, this is going to be controversial.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything that's pissed me off more than anything that's brought me joy this week.
That's really great. How is that controversial?
Moving on. To ease and segue our way into our topic here. Yeah, so give me a run. Okay, wait, you should actually educate the audience on your background slightly because I feel like that'll give a little bit more context into what you're about to say.
Okay, so I'm an Aquarius.
Deadass. I'm a Scorpio moon, so before y'all say anything else.
I know, I'm a Pisces moon. Okay, so before we actually get into what I am, me and Kyndal are quite literally mirrors.
We have the same, yeah.
So her half birthday is my birthday, meaning that my birthday is her half birthday, right? Exactly 6 months apart, February 17th and August 17th. She is a Leo sun, Aquarius rising, and I'm an Aquarius sun, Leo rising. And we both have water sign moons, Scorpio and Pisces. So what we're about to do is going to be complete both ends of the spectrum.
Really interesting, but very. I feel like we're gonna have some similar answers here.
Yes,
there's one in particular that I'm like, you're gonna giggle because it's a very Aquarius thing to say, but nonetheless, yeah.
And I think that you're gonna giggle at some of the things I say.
I can't wait.
But one of the reasons I think that we decided to go a little bit more emotional, a little bit, is just like end of the year reflection, and also because I am finishing my last year of graduate school for clinical mental health counseling.
Woohoo! We love a smart bitch.
Thank you. I am crawling on my hands and knees to get to that finish line, girl.
I know you're
Get me that degree. I want to be paid. But yeah, so I'm a therapist in training. So naturally my life for the past like year and a half has just been such heavy reflection and like lots of like work. This past semester I took family counseling for one of my courses. So I had to do a lot of like reflection on like the family system and dynamic and like my upbringing, which made me think of my younger self. I also happen to work with kids right now in one of my many jobs, and I work with middle schoolers.
Period.
So I think of myself in them a lot,
yeah.
Especially some of those girls. I'm just like, dang, I really do see myself in you, and it's really cool to be that type of person for them. And so I was like, well, why don't I share my wisdom with you?
Yeah, just like a one at one go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would say something, but y'all know who I am. Moving on. Do you want to start with your first life lesson?
Okay, y'all. My first life lesson. This one is okay. A lot of these, honestly, I still try to tell myself now. So the first one is you don't have to mold yourself into what other people want in order to be loved by them.
Damn.
Starting off heavy, y'all.
But
I think like especially with the Leo aqua placements that I have, like especially with the Leo one too, is that like you always want to try to like you're very adaptable, right? And I consider myself very adaptable, and so I'm always like, well, like I can just like I have lots of different sides to me. I can always just like I'll just show the one that I think would mesh well in this environment. But I think little Celine took that on a little bit too much and would like change herself for the environment. And think that like, okay, well, if I acted a certain way or liked certain things, then like this person would like me too.
Yeah.
But like you don't have to shape yourself into something else in order for that person to love you. Like they should just love you because you're you.
Yeah.
And maybe you have those qualities, maybe you don't.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just stop performing all the time.
Stop performing all the damn time. Funny enough, mine is a mirror of that.
First one,
my very first one.
Okay.
And I feel like it has to be said first is it's okay to be like other girls.
That's so funny.
And like the whole like I'm not like other girls, I'm da-da-da. And I really did adapt that, like growing up and being like, yeah, I am unique. Like you all need to know I'm different. I'm not like that bitch. I'm like this bitch. I literally, there was one point where I was like, Mom, I don't want my room to be pink. I want it to be purple. Every girl's room is pink. I want purple.
My room was also purple.
Yeah. It's like I have to be different. And I think now that I'm older, I look back and I'm like, but you liked pink. Like, you just were like forcing yourself to like do something else because you didn't want to be like everyone else. And I think the lesson there is like, you're not going to be like everyone else simply because you are you. Like,
True.
No one is just like you. You're unique in your own regard. You don't have to force uniqueness.
True. Because you're unique just being yourself.
You're
because
unique
there's
just
no one
being
else.
You. There's no one else. So very similar. It's like love you for you because like, you don't have to perform.
Literally.
And similar, like you don't have to perform at all. But the world's a stage when you're a Leo.
Yeah.
Hello.
And it's like not a performance if you're good at it. You heard it here first.
What the fuck do you want me to say?
No, but that's a good one. I like that. Just like embrace your authenticity.
Yeah.
So
Embrace authenticity.
You can like pink and purple.
You can do half.
She's wearing pink and purple right now, folks.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about our little costumes. Well, because y'all know I like to theme the show or I like to wear costumes with the theme or whatever. And obviously I'm going to get into it in a bit, but like I loved Bratz dolls growing up. So I have my Bratz t-shirt on.
Love. I'm in this little thrifted slip dress. Honestly, I like didn't really love wearing dresses and skirts when I was younger. I didn't, especially skirts, but like, I don't know. I always thought like I had really thick thighs, and I mean, I do. And so now, you know, all things that were beauty standards before are no longer. And
right
now
back
like,
around.
So like now I'm like, okay. And I also have this little stuffed bear that has my name on it. It says Celine on it, and so
I love him.
I brought him with us. He's here. He's hanging.
Hey.
But yeah, so that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's
my
the
little
vibe.
broutfit, aka my brown outfit.
Your brow. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, you got a broutfit, a groutfit, a bloutfit. Depending on the color, you just add it in front.
That is fucking funny.
Actually, it was my sister the first time when I was traveling. I was wearing like brown sweatpants and a brown shirt, and she was like, "Wow, I love the broutfit," and I was like, "The who?" And so now, and then I look, and then like, funny enough, you know, you say something and TikTok
and you see it everywhere. Yeah.
And then like literally like the next day I saw someone saying like going out like shopping around my hometown in my bloutfit or something, and she was wearing like an all black outfit, and I was like,
yo,
wow,
that is so, I've never heard that before.
Isn't that fantastic? Please, broutfit, y'all hear it here first.
I'm taking that and I'm pocketing it for later.
Please.
That's amazing. Oh, that's so good. Okay, moving on. Yeah, what else you got?
Okay, ironic. Okay, these are actually kind of flowing well together. My next point is you look good. Don't let the white people fool you.
Ooh, emphasis on don't let the white. This is so funny. We have very similar friends.
Yep. Okay, so my backing for that one is that I think I genuinely didn't think I was attractive until I was like a senior in high school going into college. Like genuinely, that was when I was like, wait, actually, maybe I'm not like ugly.
Yes. Very similar timeline too. For me.
Because like when I was younger, like I mean, like me and Kyndal grew up in a very like
white.
predominantly white, like
very
upper
white.
middle, like I'm talking like lacrosse bros, the whole shebang. And so there was not a lot of people who looked like us, and beauty standards did not perpetuate that.
No.
And so like I just remember like never looking like any of my friends type thing, and them saying things of like, I don't know, like they would just like make, you know, little comments or whatever. And I always saw like I always wanted to be like them. Like I hated that I would get so dark in the summertime and things like that, and my hair and my eyebrows and all this stuff. Yeah, very
and then
Arab
a lot of
features.
people, I was gonna say, I was like, and a lot of people didn't even realize that you were Arab. They thought that you were Hispanic.
People still do think I'm Hispanic. Like, people like literally don't know what Arab people look like.
No, not at all.
People will ask me like what like ethnicity I am, and I'll say Arab, and they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "What do you mean?
Am I sure?
What do you mean if I'm sure? Like, I'm pretty sure. I've known my whole life.
This is what I've been told.
I mean, I don't know, unless my parents are lying to me speaking Arabic. But like,
yeah, I don't know. Who am I, right?
I don't know. But like, yeah, and so like all of the things that were beauty standards when we were younger were just not how I looked like.
Yes.
And then like I got older, and then it was like, wait, actually, like thick thighs are cute. Like thick eyebrows are cute. Big hair is cute.
And people are paying for lip fillers, and I naturally had them. And
right.
Like, yeah.
And like all the things that people would bully me for are now like the things that people love and like pay money to get. So,
yes. A lot of it at that.
A lot. And so, you know, I would just tell little Celine, like, you look good. Like, you are beautiful. You don't have to look like everyone else. And honestly, that's what makes you stand out.
That's what makes you beautiful.
Other very integral part.
A very serious part of our childhood. I mean, very similarly, my other point would be like, you are pretty, not just pretty for a black girl.
Yes.
Is something I heard more than you would think, actually, like in school. Is like, oh, I'd be like, you know, I feel really insecure today, or like, I don't feel like I'm pretty. And I remember somebody being like, you are pretty, Kyndal. Like, you're like one of the prettiest black girls in school. And they genuinely meant that shit.
Yeah, like they didn't mean any harm by it.
They genuinely meant that shit. And it's like, that's what you get, like, that's what you get kind of like, what is it? Like boxed into. It's like, okay, like, so long as I'm the prettiest black girl in school, right? Like, can I achieve that? Or like, you know, being compared to other black girls in the school, because that's like the like set of like pretty you can have. And then, you know, of course we grew up in that white area. So, you know, my biggest thing was my hair. Like it was a very serious deal to me to like have my hair done or like just have my hair period, and my hair was really short, and I remember being made fun of for my hair. And then there was like, I had big teeth, they called me squirrel teeth in school, but I love my fucking teeth now. Like I'm a baddie. And if I could go back and look at little me in the face, I'd be like, look, now even though you don't care that much about your appearance, we gonna touch on that later. Like I'm like, you know, but you're beautiful.
The yassification is coming.
Like the yassification is coming, and you need to try to adopt it just a tad bit earlier. I'll get into that point later. But the point of the matter is, whether you yassify or not, you are gorgeous, and you're not just pretty for a black girl. You're pretty, period. End of story.
Exactly.
End of fucking story.
Exactly.
So yeah. That's like sad though. Like there's so many like girls that grow up with that same like issue.
Yeah, very much. And I think like the kids that I work with now, like they have a lot of representation because the kids I work with are mainly from Mexico. Really not beating the Hispanic allegations. But anyway,
the allegation.
But yeah, like they have a lot of representation, which is really cool. I just remember that like there was no Arab people.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, cause like, did you nobody, like
none?
You were the only fucking person in our entire school.
Literally, aside from like there were a few girls that were Iranian, but like
right.
And so like there was that kind of similarity, but for whatever reason, like they were always accepted more than I was.
I would argue that they were a little bit more white passing.
That's probably why.
I would argue, or at least like
they were a lot more prone to like assimilate versus like acculturate, and like the difference for that for the folks at home is like completely like rejecting your initial culture to embrace like a new culture, and then the other one is like a blending of the two cultures.
Yes.
So I tried to go for a blending aspect, and I think a lot of girls for a long time that were brown were just like, well, see them. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like adopt these like white mentalities, and I'm really happy to see all of them kind of like going back to their cultural roots now.
I've seen a lot of that too, and even like just acknowledging that that's what they used to do as well.
Yeah. But I think like I didn't really understand it because I also went to a private school that was like really diverse. There wasn't any other Arab kids there, but like there wasn't that many kids there in general.
Yeah,
so it was like a really small school.
You graduated with like what, 12 people at one point?
Yeah, like there was like literally less than that. At one point there was like one 8th grader. When I was in 6th grade, there was like 8 of us, and there was one 8th grader, 4 7th graders.
What did they do?
They just hung out with the 7th graders, really. Like they just had their classes together, and then like he would get different like, you know, tests and stuff. Whatever. But like it was so small that like you didn't know that there was like a world of like the same out there. And so then I went I went to public school, 8th grade, didn't know anybody. And I was like, who are you people?
It was massive culture shock. I would assume.
I was like, I have never been around this many white folks. Because I grew up in Smyrna before the gentrification. So like I was used to being around folks that like were not all white all the time. But then moving to East Cobb, that changed. That changed. So I would tell little Celine, like, just hold on tight, girl.
You're good. Yeah.
You are good. Just get out of there. But then again, I live in Chicago now. It is amazing. Like, it is amazing.
You like it, really?
I mean, it is amazing. But the part that's unamazing is that every man still goes for white girls. And I'm like, y'all, BFFR. No hate to my
little white sisters.
My white sisters out there, but it does, like, I've recognized my inner child getting hurt
totally
anytime a melanated man will leave me for a white girl.
That's like
which happens a lot more common than you think.
I have to just thank God, actually, that I've never seen with my own 2 eyes that happen with men that I fooled around with, the melanated men that I fooled around with.
Atlanta men are at least like different in that regard, I will say. But I don't know, something about the Midwest, I guess.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, but that would destroy me.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's really tough. I've been, it happened in front of me type thing.
You're like, it takes your bag.
I'm there in the bar now. Like, it's literally like that SpongeBob meme of Mr. Krabs where he's like, And then
literally, like, where am I? Please. Yeah,
that was what it was like.
Can't be there. Sorry. That sucks though. For real.
You need to cut it.
You need to cut it.
But yeah, so you look good.
You look good. That's very good.
Okay. Okay, so kind of a little bit more emo.
Oh, okay. Let's
back
hit
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Is number 3. You are always more loved than you feel, but don't accept conditional love. That one was a double one because I wanted to make that into a separate point, but I was like, I kind of feel like those two go together. So like for me, I still struggle with this, but I think that like it stems from me being little. So that's why I would want to tell her like, you are more loved than you think that you are.
Yeah.
Because I was always around like people who showed love in like actions, I guess, but like not really in the ways that like I guess I wanted it at the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I wish I was like, you know, told it more or like had more of affection, whatever it may be. But I think that translated into like really bad romantic relationship ideals.
100%.
Because I always thought that like people would love me if I could do some things for them, and then the second I can't, they don't like me anymore. But that's very conditional and very transactional, and like that's not the way that love and care is supposed to work. It's supposed to just be to exist. I like to think of love like mist in the air. It's always around us, just like kissing our cheeks. But sometimes you can feel it a little bit more, and sometimes it's a little bit dry. But it's like not something that you have to necessarily attain. It's just like ever present, like energy. You know?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a really good way of looking. I would never thought of it that way, like mist in the fucking air. That's beautiful. What the hell did you come up with that?
Honestly, I did actually. I did come up with that. One time I was reading one of my old journals and I was writing, like I wrote a letter to someone or something. I don't remember. And in that I wrote that like love is like mist in the air.
I need to read what you read in.
I know, right?
Where did that come from? That's
I
beautiful.
Don't know. Pisces moon.
That's gorgeous. Oh my God.
Very like introspective.
No, like I'm gonna think on that one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe I'll write like my 10 commandments is gonna be these.
No, literally. We have to write them down and hold them up. That's like so again, I've like said it 1,000 times. I feel like Celine's are gonna be very introspective and beautifully thought out and poetic versus mine being very cut and dry and humorous rather, because I'd rather laugh about it than cry about it. And piggybacking
the
off
mirrors. Y'all get both sides. If we were both giggling and goofing, then like that would only be like, you know, half content. If we were both sitting here and crying, that would also only be half content.
We need a nice little balance here. So I'm trying to give that to y'all. And my thing is piggybacking off of that in a sense is I wrote down, leave that boy alone.
So true.
Leave him the fuck alone.
Dude,
leave
if
him
you think about double texting, don't
do it, because you'll only feel bad about it later.
Feel worse, and they're still not gonna respond, and you're not gonna get the thing that you want to hear.
No, because you know what I would do is I would send them texts that didn't have to do with our conversation at all, just so I could triple text essentially and be like, oh shit, sorry, that was for so and so, bitch. No, it wasn't.
See, my thing was like I would send like a meme. I still do this. I'll like, if they haven't responded to me in a while or something, I'll like send something like, like totally random that had actually nothing to do with what we were talking about. But it'd be like, here's a meme.
Hey, remember me?
And then like sometimes they'll respond to the other text and not the initial one, and then you're just like,
what the fuck? Yeah.
And you're like, well, now I'm just boo-boo the damn fool because I have to like respond to myself and be like, so anyway, circling back to this.
It's like, did you not see the meme? Okay, great. I thought it would just to divert your attention, but literally, like, leave him the fuck alone. He doesn't like you, and I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings, babe.
And that's okay.
I'm saying that to say, and that's okay. I'm saying it more so to just be like, there are better things to focus your attention on in situations. I think I've said it in the previous episode with Anna, but like we were talking, she was asked me, would I let my daughter essentially date at a young age? And I was just saying, I don't think any girl should date at a young age, period. I think we should just focus on sports, hobbies, anything. I didn't play a sport.
So much time would have been saved.
Like, I didn't play a sport, so like I just had all this time to have imaginary, you know what the sport I was playing? Track in my fucking head, because I was chasing after niggas that didn't like me. That shit is embarrassing. Like, oh my God.
Running laps in your mind.
Living rent free in my head, and like when I could have just been focusing on like anything else. I could have been learning how to edit. I could have been fucking sewing. My mom put me in sewing class. I didn't even like sewing. I could have been doing anything, but I was focusing on these men that did not like me. Men, boys, they were little boys. And like, at the end of the day, where are they now? Great.
In your DMs?
Most times, actually. Yeah. Most times, actually.
I see y'all out there.
The way that she looked directly.
Y'all that did not want to give us a time of day back in the day. Now you want
everything.
The whole week, mama.
My favorite part
is... getting it.
My favorite, and we get it. Listen, and you know, if you're lucky, you might get it. But anyway, it's like, it's funny though, because it's like, especially, I don't know, I can't ask you, but like being a content creator specifically, I'll have people that I went to school with, people that have curved me at one point, come back and be like, yeah, I listened to this episode and I really liked da 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 da. And I was like, that is so fucking funny. Block me right now. Actually,
yeah.
Don't fucking listen to this show. Stop stalking me.
Fan behavior. I love my fans though. Mwah.
Kisses.
BBL wave. BBL wave.
Exactly. So yeah, leave that boy alone. Period. Next.
Okay, let's see what I have next. I honestly feel like, yeah, okay, so on the idea of like leaving that boy alone would have saved you so much time.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the things I struggled with when I was younger was that when I was going through these boy problems, I couldn't talk to my parents about it, obviously.
Well.
And so I had to, I kept that shit inside and I just like harbored it. Like I was like trying to like swallow everything.
Glass.
Yeah, very much. And so I just always felt like I was like choking on my feelings, right? And so my other one would be feel the feels. Talk about your emotions and let people be there for you when you're feeling them. Because I'm sure you can relate to this.
100%.
But when I feel very strongly, especially as someone who is like a helper, I don't know how to ask for help and I don't know how to let people help me. And I never have. And I remember it was actually like over Thanksgiving when I was with Stephanie. And she mentioned how like she was like, yeah, you know, when we were younger, like I don't know what happened, but like there was like this point where there was like a darkness inside of you.
Wow. First of all.
And she was like, and I could see it, but I didn't really know, like you never talked about it. So I just like didn't say anything. And I was like, damn.
Well, first of all,
a darkness,
a darkness, bitch.
Girl, I mean, she's not wrong.
You should have said a darkness is crazy.
I was like, a darkness.
A darkness is crazy to think.
Please.
That was recently? She
said
that recently?
That she mentioned that. And I was like, well, you know, I guess like middle school is when I started having like my first
really
kind of like
fucked up thoughts.
I never really thought of myself in any negative light until then. And that's also when I started getting like involved with boys and like just involved. And that's when I went to public school and I was like, I didn't feel like I had a safe space to share my emotions. So I just harbored that. And it like weighs so much on you, especially on women, because you harbor your emotions in your body. And that's why we all have such fucked up backs and bodies. And hip pain. Do you have any hip pain?
No.
Well, that's good. But like
I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, do I?
Like it's just like for anyone to like store, you know, whatever happens in your life that you don't like process, it just gets stored in your body because your body is like your soul's capsule, right?
I hate this so much, bro.
I'm sorry. I warned y'all. So yeah, I would just say feel the feels, especially also as an Aquarius. My thing is that I don't like to talk about my feelings unless I know how to articulate them. But like that means that you always have to astute like logic or reasoning to emotions when they're the most illogical and irrational things. Emotions can't be right or wrong. They're just reactions.
I'm so glad you said that because I really do like sit there and I always say like, I don't know how to articulate this properly. And it's like,
and so I don't say anything.
Yes.
And then it just like,
or it's like,
and then I'm like, oh, I'll just like wait until I find the words, and I never find the words. But then maybe if I do, I'm like, well, it's, you know, enough time has passed. Like it's whatever.
Say anything.
And so I just kind of tuck it away. But then like the next time that I have a feeling that's like really strong, I'm like, well, where is this coming from? All the times that I never talked about how I fucking felt.
Yeah.
Is like, hey, remember me?
Just creeping back up in here.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm like, ooh, this is almost like, this is cathartic for me. I know I can't speak for the audience, but this is because I'm hearing things that I need to hear right now.
I'm glad.
And I'm like, oh, that's tea, actually. Because that's all I've been saying recently is like, I'm not quite sure how to articulate this, but this is like kind of what I'm thinking right now. Maybe I'll come back with some more intellectual thoughts. And it's like, I'm constantly intellectualizing my emotions.
Yeah.
Like,
Very Aquarius thing to do, TBH.
Moving on. Because I'm like, thinking. Nobody wants to think. Okay.
Unfortunately.
And nobody wants to think.
Head full, many thoughts.
Head full, so many fucking thoughts. This one's very specific to me. Obviously, like things I would tell my younger self specifically, but like I'm sure a lot of kids can relate. So obviously, when I was younger, I used to play with Bratz dolls.
Love.
And I used to make like little films.
Oh my God, yes.
And it has now carried over into like my real life career, where like all I do is make little content pieces, little films,
wearing
little
a little
skits,
Bratz shirt.
with my little Bratz shirt. And I think if I could go back and tell myself that anything, I would go back and tell her, hey, don't put the dolls down. In fact, keep doing projects. In fact, finish them. In fact, publish them. Like, do the thing that you wanted to do. Because I would play the Bratz dolls, and then a while when it was popular, there was a lot of videos on YouTube with Bratz dolls, like making films with them and things like that. And I'm about to shout out somebody very specifically. And if anybody's listening to this show and they know what I'm about to talk about, and you have a link to what I'm about to say, you need to fucking DM it to me, and I mean it. Angela Parks. If you find this podcast, I need you to email me. I am so serious. I grew up watching this show. It was a show on YouTube. It's called The Fabulous Life of Bratz. Okay? This girl, Angela Parks was her name. It's public information. Please don't come for me. She did this show, Fabulous Life of Bratz. And she took the Bratz dolls, and it was this whole show centered around like high school drama, but very specifically about this girl. I want to say her name was Ashley, and I really can't remember because none of the episodes are available on YouTube. They are wiped.
Where'd they go?
She wiped them, I think, because she started getting bullied. Like, people found out and linked it to her, and she started getting bullied, so she took it all down.
How dare y'all?
It is so annoying, like, how the digital footprint works, because I'm like, yo, leave her alone. She was like, what, 15, 16, like, making these videos with her little sister is what my understanding. And there was a girl, and she was like crazy, and she really wanted this boy Kobe, and he wasn't dating her. He was dating Nikki, and Ashley, she was crazy. So there was like this whole series around her trying to kill Nikki so she could get Kobe. It was crazy. Okay, this shit was crazy.
That was not on my bingo card.
It was crazy. Okay, it was crazy. It was good though. Like, it was good, especially because like, how old was I? Like 10, 12, like very young. And I remember just being like, yo, it was so good because, you know, you play with the dolls, and a lot of people were lazy and they'd hold the dolls at the foot. It was cinematic masterpiece because you couldn't see the hands. Right?
She was like puppeteering
She
that
was
shit.
puppeteering the shit. And then there would be, she would put the shots, like she would put the camera on the floor, and there'd be these shots of like, you see the feet move. And I'm like, yo, how'd she do that shit? And I remember like watching it and being like, I want to do that. And I would make the same videos with my dolls. I would like try and copy like her like things and like put my own spin on them. And I just feel like I wish, if I go back and tell younger me anything, keep doing that. Make your projects, because you don't know what it's going to turn into. And I wish that I published them. I wish that I did more. I did skits when I was in high school, and I wrote these skits, and there's one specifically I wish I could put it online if I didn't use like extras and shit and like people in real life. But I did a skit about like Santa and like how tired he was of Christmas. And it was very funny.
That's real.
I wrote it at like 16. I wrote it. I helped film it. I produced it. And I was in high school. And I remember being in high school and being like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I'm doing it, funny enough. But it's just like, yo, don't stop doing that shit. And even if you think it's bad, keep going, keep going, keep going. Like, it does not matter. You'll look back on it and remember it actually isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So much shit that I did that I'm like, that was really good.
Right.
I wish I had like a me when I was like, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have like the older sister. And like my older brother at the time was like in college. So it was like, you know, he was always very supportive. Everybody was very like, I guess, supportive, but I didn't have somebody like watching every single video and being like, yes, very good, Kyndal. Cause I need that.
And sometimes like kids need that.
Yes.
They just need some more motivation.
You need that validation as a kid.
Yeah. And especially like, you know, one thing that, and like, at least in like the psych world that we try to do and like talking about kids too, is like telling them that like, complimenting their effort rather than like their creation or their ability. So like, instead of saying to a kid like, oh, good job, you're so smart, being like, oh, good job, you must have worked really hard at that. Because like if it like is ascribed to like a trait, then they're like, okay, well, I'm just not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not, you know, creative enough.
Yes.
But if it's like, oh, like this doesn't turn out well, like I just need to work more on it, and then like it'll get there.
Yeah, that's really good. Actually, I'm clocking that for when I speak to kids, because I think my mission too from that experience is just like every time I see children, especially creative kids, I am so fucking like, yes, very good. Don't stop, do it again.
Yeah,
like don't stop. We need you. And so like, yeah,
Yeah.
if I would tell little me to keep going and keep pursuing those creative efforts because they're important.
Yeah. Ironically, one of mine also was to invest in my creative side. I would tell little Celine that, like, I would shake her, grab her by the shoulders,
Yeah,
and be like, do art, bitch. Because when I was younger, I was like, I so wanted to be like the perfect little good kid, right? And I'm really smart. I'm an academic, obviously. I mean, I'm like one of the only people I know who's dumb enough to go to grad school.
No, please don't say that, because so many kids I know go to grad school for acting. It's different, I guess, but
I mean, every grad program is different because it's so specific. But like, I will say, like, school is hard.
School is hard. Yeah.
And I was always really good at school. I was like, you know, I was good at tests, whatever. So I was like, I'll just stick to this. There were so many things that I was like, you know, acting or singing or dancing. I always wanted to do dance. I always wanted to be in the plays.
Bitch, me and you both.
I always wanted to take singing classes. I like thought those things were so cool, and I always thought I was like kind of good but just not good enough. So I was like, you know what, let me stick to what I'm good at, because that's what my dad would tell me all the time.
Really?
He'd be like, stick to what you're good at,
which you don't think in the moment as bad advice.
Yeah,
like you hear
think,
that
like,
and you're
okay,
like, yeah,
yeah,
stick to what I'm good at.
I found something I'm good at, I'm just gonna stick to it forever. But like but that's so limiting.
Yeah.
And now I literally like lived my whole life thinking I wasn't a creative person. And only literally in like the past year was I talking about it in one of my classes. And my professor, like in one of my program, was like, Celine, you're so creative.
She was like,
what do you mean?
Hearing
and
you
I was
talk
like,
about the love mist is crazy to me, because I was like,
The
you have
love
an affinity for writing. You've always had kind of an affinity for writing.
Me and you both, though.
I'm talking about you right now.
Okay. Okay, fair.
Talking about you.
There it is again.
I'm talking about you right now. You were like very poetic. You're just a naturally very poetic person.
Thank
I wonder
you.
why, like, and we love Orion. We both love Orion Carlotto a lot.
No, and you know what trips me up is that we so could have been her. She just had the connections, but now she's like walking
Gucci
for Prada.
star.
Girl, please. I remember when you used to work at.
We were there.
Yep,
that could have been
at
us
the American Apparel in Lenox Mall. I remember.
Wow.
Orion, if you're listening to this, though, let's be besties.
Orion
or
has
fall in
noticed
love,
me.
whichever.
Orion has interacted with me now on Beyonce's internet twice.
Slay.
So I hope she does see this
I hope so.
eventually.
But yeah, I did. I used to love to write. I still do write all the time, but not as much maybe. And sometimes I wish I could have gone back and been like, no, like go further with your writing.
Absolutely.
And, like, publish a little poetry book or something.
Yes.
Maybe I still will. Who knows? I see publishing a book in my lifetime. So
I honestly see it for you too.
right.
Yes.
That and a TED Talk. Stay tuned.
I can't wait to see that, actually.
I know, right? It's gonna be like, I'm gonna be using the hand motions.
She said I'm gonna be using the hand motions. Don't play with me right now. That's tea. Okay. Funny enough, it's like I totally agreed, and then I also have to add this for me personally. And this is like communication, like a tip for younger me, because I used to trip myself up with this. I have volatile emotions.
Scorpio moon. Them shits are intense.
They're very intense. I have volatile emotions, and a lot of the time I would act on impulse on my emotion. If I could go back and tell little me anything, I'd be like, you know what, your emotions are valid, but like sit down.
Chill, girl.
Don't send that text. Don't make that thing. Just shut up. Sit down. Sit in your room for like 5 minutes before you talk to anybody, actually. Don't do it, because I really would like I wouldn't get myself in trouble at all. It would just be more of like a, you know, I would save the double. I didn't have to double text anybody. I didn't have to pop off at the lid. You know, it just calm down.
Just because you can doesn't always mean that you should.
Yeah.
But you know, to be fair, we don't know impulse control when we're younger.
No.
But that's why I would want to tell myself that and be like, girl, I know that you think you know what you're doing. You do not.
No. Especially like as I get into like middle school and high school years, or really high school, even like well into like college too, just being like, look, girl, I know you're mad. Like, I know you're fucking pissed. Like,
and fair.
Think about it though. Think about what's actually like beneficial for you in this situation, and then act on that, and not exactly like what you need to do right fucking now, because what you need to do right now probably the best thing for you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just kind of gets you into some more trouble. And it's like you're never really helping anyone, even not even yourself.
No,
so.
it's like you fucking yourself over.
Just sit down.
Sit down.
And, maybe that goes back to feeling the feels too, is because like I always felt that like if the second I felt something, I had to act on it. Like I was like, okay, I got to do something to change it, to get rid of it, to make things better. And if I sit here and do nothing, then it's not going to fix anything. I wonder if sitting there and doing nothing maybe would have fixed something.
Mm-hmm. Do you know your human design?
No.
That's T, actually.
What is it? Is that like the whole like ENF?
No, that's something else. I don't know what the fuck that is.
What's
Human design is like how we're literally designed as humans. I don't know enough.
Interesting.
I actually literally don't know enough. All I know is I'm a manifesting generator.
Slay.
I would be curious to know what yours is.
What if I'm a generating manifester?
There's a
because it'd be the opposite.
There's only like 4 or 5. It's like manifester, manifesting generator, a generator, a projector.
So there is a manifestor generator.
That's what I am.
Generator manifestor.
No generator manifestor. Just moving on. I can't.
So I don't know what that is, but now I'm really curious. Is like an online test?
If you know what time you're born, you'll be able to do it, which you should, because you know what time I'm born. We'll do it after the show for sure. Yes, we'll figure out what you are. That's T. But I think as far as emotions go, because I'm a manifesting generator, and so I know for me, I have to wait until like I should act on like feeling something, but it should feel right, and I should like wait and you're supposed to let the emotional wave die down before you act on what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, not at the peak there.
Not at the peak. Exactly. So I'm wondering if you're similar to me in that sense with your design type.
I would say, like, just for the way that you described it, I would say yes.
Yes.
Because I've always been that type of person. It's like, especially when it gets to that, like, that peak or that fall, I guess you could say. It's like a really low one. Yeah. And it feels like you're literally, like, being suffocated by it. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. And I, like, need to do something. But, like, oftentimes I wonder, like, girl, just chill.
Just chill. What number are you on?
6.
Oh, beautiful.
About to send the 6th one now.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the 6th one is to take more risks. I would love to tell myself, and I try to tell myself now, you don't have to be perfect at everything in order to do it. I feel like that kind of goes off of the last one I said too.
Yes.
But I was like, I have this thing of like, okay, well, I didn't get it immediately.
So I'm fuck it. Yep.
And that is why I still don't know how to ride a bike.
Damn, for real.
Yeah, I still don't know how to ride a bike. And at this point, it's like...
why would you?
It's, in Chicago, a lot of people ride bikes, I will say.
Okay, but
I don't want to.
Let me tell you the tea. If you can ride a bike, you're not fucking special. Bikes are not...
y'all.
Bikes are not that cool. Like, they're not...
Drive a car. Walk.
Do anything. Take the subway. Take a bus before you ride the bike. Like, I'm not coming for bike riders, but I do hate them when I'm driving. Yeah. Let me be clear on that. However, I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was like 13, 14. I was very older, I guess. And even then, I fucking hate... Well, no, my dad was still here. There was one time I remember my dad took us on like a trail on the bike, and I couldn't finish it. It was very difficult. I hated it. And my dad was like, why? I walked the bike up at one point. He was like, what is wrong with you? So I fucking hate this.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's just too damn bad. So just to make you feel better, fuck riding bikes.
No, okay, so the trauma behind riding a bike. Not only did everyone that tried to teach me when I was younger give up on me because they were like, I just can't do this anymore.
They gave up on you.
They did. My dad fully said that once. I was like, damn. But then this other time, bro, I was like, it was during the One Direction concert, like the Up All Night tour. So like the OG. Ooh. And like for y'all who don't know.
You went to Up All Night?
No, I didn't. And let me tell you why. So what had happened was my dad, it was like, my dad was supposed to be going like out of, like he was like traveling like the next day or whatever. But he was like, okay, I'll tell you what. If you learn how to ride a bike today, then I'll take you to the One Direction concert. So my little ass got up bright and early up on the hill in my neighborhood and would go up and down, up and down, up and down. So I can go like, just like keep going. And so I kind of did, and I was able to do it. And he was like, okay, cool. I'm not taking you to the concert though. And he didn't take me because he was like, well, one, I guess the tickets were expensive. And he was like, well, I do have to travel the next day. So
Yo, what the fuck? Why didn't you check that before you made that deal with me? And
I'm saying, I was like, so was this a part of the deal all along? He was like, no, I was going to take you. And I was like, I don't believe
you're a hater for real.
So then I vowed to never ride a bike again. And I haven't.
That's valid, actually.
Out of spite.
Out of spite. I'd be in the same damn boat.
I missed Up All Night for that. I did go to the other 2 One Direction concerts afterwards, the ones with 5 Sauce, but if only
we were there.
Well,
there was the one, where was it? What was it? Where We Are? Where we ended up getting closer seats.
There was like Where We Are, and then there was
I went to Take Me Home.
Yeah.
We were in the nosebleeds for Take Me Home, but for Where We Are, we ended up pretty close because of Celine. Because of Celine like snuck us in to like the section where there weren't that many people, and we got seats that were empty, essentially. Craziness. Because what empty seat in a One Direction arena? But man,
I was like, oh, they didn't show up.
I was convinced Harry looked at me like that night at least 3 different times. He saw me.
He saw me.
No, he did.
Out of all those 20,000 people,
he saw me. He saw me. Yeah, that shit's crazy. That's tea.
So yeah,
I think this one's just a more general one, but hey Kyndal, little you, put more stock and value into your friendships. I've done that a lot more recently, as you know, once I hit my 20s, I think. But when I was younger, like, I had a lot of friends. I think I took that for granted.
Honestly, how so?
I think like it didn't hit me like how valuable those relationships were. I think that I was thinking about the things that I didn't have, or like especially when it came to romantic relationships, it was like, well, this person has a boyfriend, why don't I have a boyfriend? But I had great friends when I was a kid, and that to the point where I'm still friends with 90% of the people I was friends with as a child today. Like, if we don't talk, it's because you screwed me over, and that's just tea. But like,
facts.
I'm friends with literally everybody. Look at us.
I know. It's like, unless you like literally do me wrong, like
unless you do me so dirty, we are not friends. And even if you did do me dirty, I 90% probably forgave you. I forgave you. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, to me though, it's like, I wish I put more stock in those relationships, or at least were just like a little bit more grateful growing up, because I think that would have bled in a little bit more into my adulthood, and I would have a better understanding of how to foster those relationships as an adult, versus like now I foster the relationships fine, but I think I'm constantly having to remind myself of like how to do that. Whereas like, I wish it was more of like a ingrained situation as a child. But like, yeah, just a reminder. So you have friends, you have good friends. You should
not need a man.
You should care about them. Yeah, you don't
especially
need a man.
at that age too. Honestly,
like, fuck, girl.
Like, they are even worse than you could think.
They're evil. And I'll never forget, because I told the story last week with Anna. I told the story about Celine was actually the person to tell me about the FaceTime incident. If you listened to the episode last week with Anna, then you should go listen to the episode. If you did, you know what I'm talking about. Celine was the person who had to break it to me about the FaceTime incident.
Ooh. Oh my God.
Celine was a real one in school, and I should have been more grateful when she told me the thing that 2 people very close to me at the time did not fucking tell me, because they was trifling at that moment in time. All has been forgiven. It's actually rather hilarious when I tell the story, because like, how the fuck did that happen? Moving on. But yeah, just like, care about your friends.
Yeah. And trust them when they tell you about men, because
they're
not out to get you.
No. Yeah, that part actually. It took me 2 years.
Yeah, to think oh well, like, you guys are just jealous. No.
No, I see, and that's crazy, because I was fucking a man that looked practically homeless, and my friends were worried about me. They were like, Kyndal, you can do better than this. We hate him, please. But they were so patient with me. And I'm shout out to y'all. Y'all know who you are.
Really,
if y'all were friends with me in college, you know who I was fucking at. That was a nightmare. I really appreciate you guys.
Apologies.
I'm sorry for putting you through that. So yeah, I just like
me with literally any and all
of the men.
Yeah. All the people I don't know.
Because they're fucked up and evil.
They are. And in my DMs. Anyway,
moving on. Fan behavior.
Okay, so the next one. Okay, on the topic of love. Going back, okay. Okay, my number 7 is you deserve to receive the love you have in your heart and give out to others. I actually saw this in an Instagram post a few weeks ago, and I saw it and immediately started crying. Because I was like, damn, I feel like, yeah, I had so much love in my little heart and I didn't know where to put it. And so I was just like trying to give it out to anyone who would take it. But another quote, I have this like, the notes app in my phone, y'all. Woo!
It's something else,
like,
yeah.
I have one that's like these like a bunch of statements, like really like good one-liners, which some of these did come from there. I have said it like in session with clients. I've had my therapist say it to me. I've read about it, whatever they come from. But one of them was that and that like you like deserve the love that you have in your heart, and that people, especially like a partner, doesn't give you the capacity to love. They just give you a place to put it. Think on that for a second. Because
a partner doesn't give you the capacity to love. They give you a place to put it.
And as someone who loves to have imaginationships, I love to have relationships with people in my mind. Full people who we've never maybe even gone out more than 2 or 3 times. I'm like, you are my soulmate. And I've planned our whole life together. I know the name of our children and everything like that. I used to do that all the time. I love the idea of people. I still do. But like before it was like real bad, real bad. I feel like all the things that I struggle with now all obviously stem from when I was younger, right? Like there's nowhere else for it to come from.
Totally.
And so I like to go back and be like, if I had known this earlier, maybe things would be different. But like I always felt like I had so much little love in my heart. And I was always looking for someone or somewhere that I could just throw it out to and anyone could take it. But like to be loved by me is a privilege.
Absolutely.
And I naturally love everyone. So like, because I just have a lot of love. Like I am the love that I want to embody, as is everyone else. And so like someone else can't give you, like they don't give you like, oh, I've never felt this way about a person before. Like it's because like you have that feeling within you. Like you have all those good qualities and you're just like, not saying that like that person doesn't also have those qualities, but like your ability to connect with people is because of you. It's because of like you there. You have the ability to connect with someone because it's you who's doing the connection. You don't know how that person's feeling. That doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day, because if you feel something, then that's valid. So to say that, yeah, embrace a little love in your heart, but give it to yourself. You know that other people are going to get it. You don't have to like try to like seek and find someone to give it to. Like the right people, will you just naturally give it and get it in return. Period.
I'm sorry. I'm like still sitting on that. That's like whoa. That's like game changing actually, to like know that information. And it also like, you've heard it like you aren't special until I made you special. Like,
yeah. And I like definitely would hear that like before. And I'm like, that's so not true.
But it is. Like at the end of the day, it's like you are just a vessel.
Right.
Wow. Like that's actually like, oh Jesus.
It just like makes me think on that, especially because I've been single for a long time, like a few years now. When I used to be like always in like a little relationship, even though all those men are trash. And I'd always be like, oh, like when will someone love me? Like what? And I still think that sometimes, like I can't say that I'm like above and beyond all these things because I'm not. But like now I at least can like kind of talk myself down from that and be like, no, queen. You do want to love someone very much because you have all this love within you, but like it's not like someone else isn't going to give you that ability to like fall in love. Like you have all that love within you already. Yeah. It's not just like, because love is energy and energy can't be created or destroyed. It's just transferred or like, passed on from one thing to the next. And
wow.
Yeah. So
that's a word. That's really good. I feel like I just went to church. Jesus.
Ooh, amen.
I feel like I just got baptized on that one.
Slay.
To lighten the mood a bit. Baby, Kyndal, why didn't you save any money in college?
Ooh, that's real.
Where did that shit go? Real. I just like,
what were you doing?
So, like, I am very privileged and blessed to be able to say this. I don't have debt from school.
That's Congratulations.
Thank you
honestly.
very much. Thank you. Like,
That is
so
something
why
to be
didn't you
proud of.
use that to your advantage and put some money aside, you dumb bitch? And I can only say dumb bitch because I'm not talking to inner child. I'm talking to me from like maybe 4 years ago. Fuck you. Why did you do that? Like, you blew through like money that you would get for like anything, and like, you know, FAFSA money if I like got a return on like a new phone. I'm gonna go buy clothes. You had a job throughout college. Where did that money go?
So true.
It probably paid for mozzarella sticks at the damn Arby's at 4 a.m. Like, fuck you.
Oh yeah.
Put your money in a damn savings account. You know you had one. I feel like I guarantee you I left college with maybe $200 in my savings account. Fuck you. Actually, you could have had a house. Like,
you could have had a house.
You could have bought a
But
house.
you know, to your credit, they really don't teach us budgeting.
No.
Ever.
Mm-mm.
You just have to figure it out after you're fucked.
No.
So,
and then they make you feel stupid. They're like what I'm doing to me. That's what I'm doing to me right now. I'm like, you're an idiot for not saving. And it's like, how did I know?
How was I supposed to know?
Literally.
How was I supposed to know?
I wish I could go back and tell me like, hey girl, like, you're gonna be really successful soon. Don't worry. However, you would be really nice to just have some money just as like an extra little cushion.
Between.
Don't you want a house? Like, you could even have half of your down payment by now if you just like put some shit aside.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have that. We're working.
It's okay. Money. I claim money flows to me.
Money flows to me easily and effortlessly, period. I mean, at the end of my goal, though, this sounds crazy. I know it does. I want to save $10,000 by the end of the year. Like, that's my goal. I'm putting it out in the universe. I really want that. I really want that. I'm already starting out with a good couple thousand in the little things. So it's like, you know what?
Nice.
Just a couple more to go. Just work your way up there. It's like, just save your money a little bit. Like, you don't have to buy everything. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
I hope you do get that goal by the end of this
Thank you.
year.
And you know what? I don't need to defend myself, but I am, because I know people love to like be mean to people who do have a set of privilege or whatever. I only got my college paid for because my dad's life insurance policy paid for it, because my dad's dead. My dad had to die for me to not have debt in school. So if before you come for me, take your pick. Which one would you rather have? Thanks.
Debt or dad?
Debt or dead dad. Like, literally pick one.
Debt or dad?
Debt or dad. Pick one. That's why. So yeah.
That,
Before anybody's like, fuck her.
That's actually very, very fucking real.
That's yeah. Someone had to die. Someone had to die for me to go to school for free. Yeah. Like,
America.
Whee! Yeah. Yeah. I love to defend myself. That's my inner child. That's my wound. Like, I'm like, I don't want people on the internet coming for me.
Have you ever seen New Girl?
Of course.
Okay, so like, you remember that one episode where Nick would always go like, dead dad pass?
Yes, of course.
You
That's
right
me
now.
all the time. Dead dad pass. Don't fucking come for me. Period. At the end of the day, fuck
At
you.
the end of the day.
At the end of the day, fuck you. Moving on.
Honestly, at the end of the day, fuck you should have been one of my 10 commandments on here, because on it. But you know what?
They're adding it. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're at number 8. Oh my God, we're moving through.
Through it.
So this one is a recent one that I've been trying to tell myself, but I really do wish I could go back to, then I could have saved myself a lot of unnecessary explanations. But what's understood doesn't have to be explained, but you don't always need to be understood to be valid. So my ass, right, would always be like, I need to articulate myself, right?
Absolutely.
And so like, I would just keep going, and sometimes like I just be like talking, and I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch even saying right now?
Yeah.
And so like, I just keep going, whatever. And I always felt like, especially when it came to like my emotions or just like, things that happened to me, I always needed to like to be understood, like where I was coming from or like what I was doing, so then people knew like what my mentality was. But like, honestly, I learned people really don't give a fuck.
No, they don't
too busy
care
on what they're thinking and they're doing. So like, you don't always have to like explain everything that's happening, and people don't have to understand you for you to be like legit. Like, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have, like, someone can very much like not understand where you're coming from for you to still be coming from there. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, totally. Like, your feelings are valid type shit. Like,
yeah, your feelings are valid and your thoughts are valid and all that shit is valid. You just don't always have to talk about it.
No, for real.
Like, learn the balance, which is funny because earlier I was saying like, feel your talk feelings about him,
but like, learn that balance. Yeah.
But learn the balance.
Because
so
you don't owe everybody an explanation for shit. Sometimes you just do things or say things and it's like, look, if your feelings aren't hurt and nobody died, you don't need to know what the fuck I was thinking when I did this. Like, it's not your business.
Yeah, and always thinking of like, oh, well, how are other people going to think and feel? That people-pleasing mentality, girl.
Oh, man, that is me. Well, that's me, too, especially now that I've done, like, I'm on, like, a public platform and things like that. I get very, very, like, in my head about saying certain things or doing certain things.
Yeah,
literally, y'all saw it literally less than 5 minutes ago. Like, oh, like, I can't have people, like, being mean to me because of, or I can't have people thinking I take it for granted that I didn't go to, I went to school for free, like, But it's like, at the end of the day, they don't know your life. They don't know your story, and they're only going to get so much in a fucking hour episode.
True, and people are only going to hear what they want to hear.
Yes, absolutely. There are going to be some people who are just going to take the clip and run with it before they get the explanation. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, that has come to my mind a lot, especially being in, like, with the content creation space, too, and just, like, social media and how people take what they want and just go with it versus, like, but at the end of the day, you don't have to explain yourself. That's tea. That's really good.
Yeah. I feel that too, like, in the sense of, like, in my profession as well, like, always, like, watching what I say or what I do.
Yeah.
Have, like, feeling like I have to be a certain type of person or whatever, but, like, I think being real is what makes, like,
it's
our
authentic.
content more,
yes,
like, palpable. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, people want to, like, engage with it because it's not that serious.
Bing.
The logo
ad here.
Right but
yeah, that's good. I'll this is my last one.
Okay.
What I'm about to say is going to slightly contradict what I had to say earlier, but I told you I was going to circle back to it. Now, earlier I said you're pretty. You're not just pretty for a black girl. Absolutely. Totally agree with that statement. Kyndal, however, you're doing yourself a disservice when you don't brush your hair in the morning. You're doing yourself a disservice when you don't just put a little bit mascara on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pull yourself together. Like, girl, there'll be, like, pictures I'll look back on in high school and be like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, you look rough and you shouldn't. You know what I mean? And you should.
No, literally that.
And that's not me being mean, but it's just like, girl, you'd probably feel a little bit better too about your appearance if you just put a little bit of effort into it. And recently, I started caring a lot more about, like, what clothes I have on, and, like, not even what clothes I have on from the standpoint of, like, who I'm wearing or whatever, but just, like, feeling good in my outfit. I like this outfit today. I like my little cargo pants. These are cool. And I
very Y2K.
Thank you very much. I just didn't pay attention to shit like that in school, but I wanted to feel that way.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't recognize or register that in order to feel that way, I had to put in a little bit of effort. So I'd wake up every morning and be like, I'm so fucking ugly. Like, I hate this. And it's like, well, girl, that's because, like, you didn't put a beret in your hair. You just rolled out and went. Put some damn gel in. Like,
she said, how about I better turn my swag on, look in the mirror, and say, what's up?
And I'm out. Yeah, I just wish I had
maybe like stay by the mirror, say, what's up with it?
What's
like,
up?
How
Do
can
you need a bobby pin? Should we use a whitening strip? Like, just something. A little bit something,
Yeah, I genuinely wish I could go back and tell myself, take that damn clip out of the side of your head. Because do you remember? I used to always part my hair to the side,
bro.
And it was like I had some baby hairs that would, like, come out, like, on the side, and so I would take, like, this, like, some random ass, like, Claire's ass clip, and it would have, like, a little floop on it, like a little flower, and I would put it right there and it'd be like.
It was your staple.
It was my statement.
Kind.
One thing about little Celine is that she had
like a theme.
Like,
she had a staple. There was, like, a consistency to Celine.
A statement, like a statement accessory is always followed.
Oh, I'll never forget your owl necklace because I got one just like yours.
I heard that the owl necklace.
You also had a ring. You had an owl ring.
I had so many owl accessories. It was like a joke at that point. Like, everyone would just be like, I'm gonna get this bitch some owls. I said maybe I liked owls once, and everyone just ran with it.
That's what happened with my mom too, especially when I told her I was going to KSU. She was like, hooty hoo, bitch. I was like, whoa, wait. Hold on.
Back it up.
Reel it back in.
Okay, so the 9th one is to trust your intuition. It's there to protect you. Like, I think it's just like a general, like, feminine thing that, like, you just always have these strong intuitions, especially when you're a kid, because, like, childhood is such a magical time. There hasn't been so many filters put on you yet by, like, your experiences in the world and all this other shit. So, like, all of those feelings, that those deja vu moments, even, like, those come so much clearer. But, like, as kids, like, we're so discouraged to, like, investigate them because of, like, people's views on spirituality and just, like, creativity in children. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But, like, now I'm like, oh my God, my intuition is like literally like my right hand girl.
Strong.
Although she is clouded with anxiety a lot. And so I wish I could go back and be like, no, like listen to that intuition more so you know how to harness it. But I mean, you know, she's still doing well for herself now, Miss Intuition.
Do you use or do you ever get those intuition tests on TikTok?
Yes, bitch. And I usually get them right. And I'm like, I am psychic. I'm a witch.
Yes, I literally lost my mind.
Like, which rock is underneath this?
And yes, and I was like,
it's that one.
Yes. There was one that got me the other day though. I was like, no, like I am God. Like it lost my mind because it was a color and a number on the back of a card. Ooh. And I said, it's a green 4. Like it was the first thing that came up. It was like green 4. And I was like, maybe it's 7. I was like, no, it's green 4. She turned that bitch around. It was green 4. I was like, yo, shut up. Yo, like
pack it up. Like
pack
literally.
It up. Call me That's So Raven, cause
no, seriously,
shit, I'm seeing into the future, bitch. That shit was very serious. Very good.
Yeah, so definitely trust that intuition, girl.
Yeah,
all my girls out there,
they know.
Yeah, and my boys and my theys and anybody else in between. Absolutely. You know, trust your gut. It's literally like your spirit guides coming and talking to you.
Periana.
Okay, so my last one.
Take us home before we read listener submissions.
So my last one is little Celine. Girl, it's not that serious.
Wow.
It really is not that serious. Anything and everything and life and whatever situation you think that you're in, whatever friendship is falling out, whatever man doesn't want you. No, whatever boy doesn't want you.
Period.
Whatever thing doesn't work out. If you get a bad grade, any of that shit, it's not that serious.
Yes, it is not going to change.
The serious shit will come on later. Enjoy the simplicity that is childhood. Because for the most part, I did have a good childhood. There were some things that like were very traumatizing, 100%. But I wouldn't say I had a traumatizing childhood. You know what I mean?
That's very good. Yeah. And it's funny enough too, because like obviously I lost my dad at a pretty young age, 14. But you still have a childhood before like is that technically adolescence?
That's adolescence. Like late adolescence.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, if I look back on that, like even my losing my father, very traumatic event, right? I still can overall be like, you know, it wasn't half bad. Like the whole thing like wasn't half bad. And I would say the same thing to myself too. Like, girl, calm down. It's not that serious.
And that's probably what inspired this show.
At the end of the day, honest to God, what inspired the show was me writing down over 200 different names for this podcast and then having an emotional outburst and going, it is literally not that serious. And I went,
that's the one.
So just in case you needed to know what the tea was there.
It's not that serious.
It's never that serious. Yeah. Love that. Okay.
Yeah, what a great little ending to my 10 commandments.
Well, I know that there are definitely, I wonder if anybody said anything similar because we do have listener write-ins, only a few, so I'll just read them out to wrap us up here. Let's see what we got. I asked you guys things you tell your younger self, from advice to life lessons, whatever.
Yes. Let's hear it. What do the people have to say?
First thing, starting off strong actually, the question was, what would you tell little you? They said that it may not get better, but you do.
Oh,
that's good.
That's really true.
That's a word.
That's really true.
This one says to focus more on being a kid and less on the adults around her acting like kids. Well,
so let's talk about that one.
Well, actually, yeah, that is tea. This one says, oh my gosh, I thought it said DM, please. It says don't ever dim yourself for anyone. Like dim your light.
Don't ever DM anyone.
I was like, for yourself? I was like, huh? Yeah, T, don't dim yourself. Don't dim your light, queen.
But very much true. Oh, God, I dated so many people who would do that.
Yeah.
Every single person I've ever dated has always been like the type of person that's like got intimidated by being like a strong, bold person, as I am with my Leo rising. Like, it's like
what can you do?
I mean, like, I'm sorry.
You can't help it.
I'm a star. So, and like, it would always make me feel like I had to like lessen myself. So that really resonates.
That resonates.
Yeah.
Period.
But now I shine bright like a diamond, bitch.
Come on, Rihanna. This one says, I need little me to know that everything is going to be okay. And even in times where it feels like it's not and it's the end of the world, trust that it'll all be okay. And I want to tell her, you'll grow up to be just as lovely and successful and beautiful as all the people you admire throughout your life. You're capable of that. Stop letting miserable people convince you you're not. And finally, little me, please understand you do not have to accept mistreatment from anybody. Not your parents, not your teachers, not your friends, or boyfriend or girlfriend or anyone. You are powerful. I mean really powerful. You know what you deserve, so act like it. Everything else will fall into place.
Beautiful.
They wrote a letter, bitch. They wrote a letter.
I hope that was like, to the person who sent that in, if you're watching, I really hope that was cathartic.
I hope it was cathartic too.
And I hope that
it sounded like it was.
It sounded like you really wrote like a letter very much directly to your inner child.
Which we love that for you.
We love.
Now the world hears.
So true.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Aww.
This one says, learn how to do things for yourself. Same, though, because I should have learned how to cook.
You know,
fuck myself over on that one.
I only learned how to cook when I was in college because my mom never let me. My mom never even let me use a stove until I was in college. Because
what?
No. My mom was a very anxious woman when we were growing up. I think one time, because when I was in 5th grade or 6th grade or something, I accidentally like burnt mac and cheese in the microwave, and she thought I would like burn the house down and like kill everyone. So like she never let me cook anything or use the stove.
Wow.
We also never used the dishwasher growing up, so I only used how to use dishwasher when I was a sophomore in college.
That's a very common experience, I find, especially with cultural backgrounds.
Yeah, that's okay. That one's definitely a cultural thing too.
I
but
find
like
that
the cooking thing, yeah, my mom didn't let me do shite for myself. Like
wow,
in that regards. But then again, had me like scrubbing the bathroom floor at the age of 8.
Well,
so
let us not. Don't get me started, please. Do not get me started.
Did I learn how to clean a toilet?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Did I know how to make pasta? No.
Damn.
Did not know.
Damn.
It was like not until I was a teenager that I learned how to like even fucking boil water to make pasta.
Who taught you? Who taught you?
Sophia Jones. Shout out Sophia.
Aww.
Love you, bestie. She did make fun of me though. Understandable. I would have made fun of me too. That's pretty bad.
She did make fun of me though.
She was like, "You don't know how to boil water?"
No,
and
she was run amok, led astray.
I did not know how to use a stove.
Bless her.
But we know now, and I'm a great cook. So
love that for you.
Anyone can cook.
Anyone can cook. Yeah, I'm still learning. So yeah, tea. This one says, "Brush your damn hair, child." Absolutely. Brush your fucking hair. This one says, "Stop using lipstick as eyeshadow, especially the mint lipstick." Now, who told you to do that?
What is this, 1982?
Who told you to do that?
Who's rocking with the lime green or like the bright
mint? That should probably hurt too.
Also, wait, mint lipstick?
Mint lips. Yeah, wait. Hold on. What brand are you using? Quickly.
No, that reminds me of the meme of the grandpa that ate paint. Do you know what I'm talking about? With his like blue ass lips.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you.
That's
watching at home.
That's you watching at home. Not you came for their whole life. Oh my God. This one says,
I fear.
Don't be afraid to try new things, even if you won't be good at them at first. Still
literally.
This one.
So true, bestie.
So true,
bestie.
This one says, enjoy the time you have as a family, because when everyone's older, you miss them. Oh.
Honestly true.
That's
honestly true.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. It's so weird because, like, you know, I live on the other side of the country now.
Yeah.
Live all the way up in the Midwest, and it's an hour time behind. Like, so there's even a time difference. Even if it's just an hour, but still,
that's enough.
It's like very surreal when I come home, and it's like, I love y'all.
Aww.
I'm glad that I don't live here anymore and I have some space.
Yeah.
But like, when I'm gone, you really do feel that space. Like when like everyone's, you know, doing their own thing and grown up and stuff, like you really do learn to value the little bit of family tradition that you had.
Yeah.
Just in doses.
Absolutely. The heavy
like, would I ever move back to Atlanta?
Fuck.
Not unless y'all get a public transit system.
Fuck no, baby.
But like, no, I'm glad I moved away, but I definitely can resonate with that.
Yeah.
I do cherish the time where all of us are together again, because it is very limited when you grow up.
That's tea. Very good.
Yeah.
Please don't let people stop you from being great. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you. Do what makes you happy.
So true.
This one says, other people around you are also going through their own mental health struggles. If you want people to check in on you and be friends with you, you need to check in on them too.
True. I will add on to that though and say that to not expect people to be there for you in the way that you're there for them.
Absolutely.
You have to communicate that.
Yeah, I would agree. I would 100% agree.
Because I often do that. I'm just like, why is someone not me? Like, I'm amazing. Like, why can't I have another version of me to be my friend or to take care of me or whatever? It's because I don't communicate that, like what I need and I want from other people. And I'm just like, well, why don't you read my mind? I read your mind.
I literally am able to do that for you.
Yeah. But it's like, you know, not everyone can do that because people are very self-focused.
100%.
They're in their own bubbles. You got to talk to them about it. But yeah,
That's
very true.
It's true.
Very true.
This one says, control what you can control, and you cannot control these girls. Hey, Kyndal. You cannot control these girls. I mean, period, I guess. Period. And the last one, of course, says that it's not that serious.
It's really not.
So, beautiful way to end, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Literally.
If you like this episode, make sure that you share it with your friends and have a nice little cathartic moment together. And then, of course, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And please go rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It means a lot to me. And leave a review because I will read it. I want to start doing like reviews of the week or something. Maybe it'll incentivize you people to like, yeah. Maybe it'll incentivize you people to leave one. And then, yeah, obviously share this podcast because, you know, out of all the little things that I could tell my younger self, and we've mentioned it before, I would absolutely have to go back and make this the overall theme. It's not that serious. All right, everybody. See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good week. See you next week. Mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah.